Greetings and salutations. In this episode of Project Celica ZZT231, I am going to try to remove the black from the bottom of the bumper. Okay, as you can see, I've already started, and what I've done is I've bought a cordless new electric sander, multi-tool with the sander attachments, and I've got lots of sanding pads for that. I've got heaps of, this is how many those are all brand new sanding pads that I can use for it. I had the idea at first that I was going to respray it, which I might end up doing, but then I had the idea that the best option would be to try to just, because someone else has painted black over the original white paint, so I thought the best thing to do would be to sand that back to the original white paint if possible. Now, as you can see, this is what I suspected might happen. Sometimes you go too far. To see this spot here and that spot there, that's where I've sanded past the white paint back to the plastic. So obviously painting is the only way to fix those little blemishes. But it looks like otherwise, where I've been sanding here today, it's all coming off, and different grits work better on different types. Obviously I need to save some of the finer grips for doing at the end. Also, I can smooth out some of the blemishes and sort of fix up the front bumper, because the front bumper looks like it's been painted and look, there's cracking on it. So I might be able to fix that up with the sandpaper as well. So I'm going to try to make this bumper, the entire front bumper, look better without respraying as much if possible, and just with sanding. But then yeah, I might just give the bottom a bit of a paint at the end. I don't know, we'll see. I've got white and grey primer, I've got silver, I've got lots of different Dulux weatherproof apparently spray can paint that's for indoors and outdoors, which I could use. Anyway, this is just part one to show you me get it going. I've got a CCTV camera filming me, so I don't know if that's getting me in shot, but I might use that for the video. And I could set up a tripod, because I finally got my tripod back, because it's up at the country. I'm at my house in the country at the moment. So that's the garage that the Celica could live in, and this is like a pergola area that's enclosed, that's attached to the garage, but it doesn't have a door here, so it's technically at the moment this is just a one-car garage. But I'm thinking if I buy a new garage door, that I could install it into this wall right here and turn my house into having a two-car garage. This is the inside. And look, there's an old hatch off the AE92 Corolla. If you can read upside down, CSI model. Anyway, so I could put a door here, and wouldn't that be awesome if I could fit another Celica in this garage, what to become garage. So that's my latest idea. So as you can see, there's lots of money I have to spend on things that are related to this Celica in order to protect the Celica and fix the Celica. Anyway, on the way driving up here, some of the country police, and I stress country police, not the city police, because it never happens with the city ones, but some of the freeway patrol people they followed me and they tried to entrap me, and I had the cruise control on at 95 k's an hour in a 100 zone, and they tailgated me for about 10 k's, and then they overtook me, but then they cut me off really close and were driving too close in front of me, so I had to slow down. I slowed down to about 90, set it down to 90, and then they sped up in front, and then they pulled over onto the side of the road and watched me go past. So I don't know why they were trying to catch me for speeding when I wasn't speeding. But I was thinking that the front bumper with the dodgy paint job might have been what caught their eye about the car, and why they decided to chase me, because they decided I was a hoon or something. They thought, just from the look of my car maybe, because I wasn't breaking any laws, and hopefully they didn't fine me for anything, and I think they were just pissed off that they couldn't catch me. They were trying to make me speed, but because I was using the cruise control, I wouldn't. So, and I couldn't, so I think that they were being dodgy. You know what I mean? I just had another idea. I'm going to try to sand back the black. There's black paint on this Toyota logo. If I sand that back, it might look nice again. Anyway, this has been almost 5 minutes for this part one of the video, and there'll be several parts until it's a whole big long video. So I'll cut this Okay, recording now. Done heaps of sanding, and both of my cordless sanders have gone, their batteries have gone flat. So one of the chargers has to arrive tomorrow in the mail for the multi-tool, but the other one just has to recharge. Don't think I'm going to do any more today, but I thought I'd show you the progress of today. So yeah, as you can see, I've gotten quite a bit off. I've wiped it down now, so it's a little bit wet, so it's not grey from just sanding. I've taken all the dust off it, which you can see where it's gone white. Sorry about that, that was some bogans riding past in their boganmobile, kicking up a lot of dust, as bogans do, making a lot of noise. Anyway, let's have a look from further back. So yeah, it's coming along. Using the two tools, I should be able to get most of the paint off it, and then I'll be able to use spray cans to make it uniform white probably, or grey. Might do undercoat grey and just leave it like that for a while anyway. I'm not sure, we'll see how it goes. So yeah, now what else is new in the car? I bought a very expensive double camera dash cam with GPS. So it's got an extra GPS antenna now, and took out the inside of the back trim, the boot here, and decided to spray it black on the inside because I've taken away the wood thing, and so I want it to all look uniform and black on the inside at the back there. What I will do is buy some carpet from Bunnings and put carpet down over it. There's the spare wheel over there. But I did run out of black paint and not really have enough to finish what I was doing here, and it's still drying I think, so I don't really want to touch it yet. Could still be a bit it feels actually dry to the touch. That's good, that means I can close the car up now. It's the time now is 4:30, so there's about one more hour where I could keep sanding and working on it. We'll see how I go with that. It's a nice sunny day today. I'm not sure how many more sunny days there are going to be, since it's a bit wintry at the moment. Yeah, anyway, thought I'd do an update picture video. Okay, I have used both sanding tools and done as much sanding as I can to go back to the original white paint, and sometimes went past it to the plastic. And I've just washed it with some water so you can actually see the difference. It almost looks good enough just to drive the car like this, I reckon. But I'm going to have to keep working on it. It is better, but it still looks dodgy, so I don't want it to look dodgy. Now, because the rest of the car has grey trims down the bottom, I'm thinking, and also because it's not summer yet, and how hard all this is, I'm going to try to, I could even paint it white, or I could paint it with grey primer. I think the proper thing to do is to go grey primer first, and then give it another sand down to get it smooth, because where I've gone back to the raw bumper plastic with the high grit sanding pads, it's gone a bit rough, as you can see. So I don't know if I can sand that smooth, but in other places it's come up really white, and I can't get the tool to fit in every single little spot. But anyway, this is day 2 of doing sanding, so I think that 2 days of sanding is enough for me. I'm kind of tired and over it. I'm not going to do 3 days of sanding in a row. It's going to be painting tomorrow, and then maybe sanding the next day, and then maybe painting again, or just painting and then letting it dry and leaving it, and then doing the rest another time. I'm not sure how much more time I'm going to have to work on this project. Maybe I'll have another week or 2, or maybe I'll only have a few more days. So I've got to try to keep that in mind. Car's got to be okay to drive around. At the moment I reckon it would be fine. From a distance it looks pretty good. Just letting the car air out a little bit after doing the painting on the inside yesterday. Yeah, so I've spent many hours working on this, and that's about as much as that sander can do. I've just washed it to get all the dirt off it, and yeah, it's like 90% white, and it's just got like these black trims, but because it's not like even, it doesn't look great. Oh, I might have to take off the license plate thing. That's not going to be a pain in the butt too. It's only a few screws, but anyway. Oh well, stay tuned for more videos. I mean, for the rest of this video. Alright, look, I did a little bit more, only about an extra 15 minutes. I went over the whole thing again with the 160 grit, fine grit sandpaper, so it's smoother now. And now I think it's ready for painting. So I also experimented with sort of the fine grit on the rest of the panels where it looked like it was damaged and stuff, but I don't think that was a good idea. You can see the scratches on the gloss paint. So I won't do any more of that, but yeah, the whole front bumper really needs to sand back and respray the entire thing. There's it's been resprayed or repainted amateurishly in the past by previous owners, you see, so it's letting the whole car down. So I don't know if this project's going to probably extend to repainting the whole front bumper. Anyway, okay, in this part of the video what I've done is I have taped up around the edges on the front bumper so it's ready to paint. Now because it's not summer, it's only just the beginning of autumn and we've got clouds today. It's not as sunny as the last 2 days, unfortunately. Not even sure if it's not going to rain for sure, you know. Anyway, I've decided out of all the options I've got, which are to either spray paint with the spray cans, I've got Dulux spray cans, or to paint it with exterior house white paint. I decided to paint it with normal paint using a paintbrush because I actually think that's how it was done in the past. Anyway, but that's not beside the point. The reasons is to spray it with the spray cans that I would need to remove the bumper entirely and take it inside the house, tape it all up and spray that section and probably really do the whole bumper anyway, because I don't have the right type of paint. I don't think I have enough paint to do it in spray cans, but I definitely do have enough for this and for the rear bumper maybe, which I might do next if I use the one can of external house paint that I have, which is about the right colour, and considering it's only just for a little feature that's down the bottom and hardly anyone will notice, the only reason I'm doing it is to make it so that it's not noticeable, and this will be the best sleep away. It'll just make it look stock standard. The black, most of the black that you're seeing here, most of it's not paint, it's actually the black plastic bumper, because I sanded all the black off. 99% of the black paint was sanded off. So that's raw. And anyway, the paint that I'm going to use, it says it's a primer as well. I'll show you the paint that I'm going to use. It's this one here. It says that it's for interior and exterior. It says that it's 2-in-1 lacquer and primer, that it's based on water, it's easy to clean. 10 square meters I'll get out of the can, and drying time is 2 to 4 hours, so it's quick dry. And I'm going to use this brush to paint it with. Yeah, because it's a brand new brush, it's never been used. I'll trim those bits off with the scissors. And that's how I'm going to go around the line, but I tape the line up just so I don't go over. Right, that's going to be filmed with my CCTV, but I don't know if I'll even be able to save that footage. So yeah, stay tuned for the next part where it's going to be painted. I'm going to tell you the result. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm going to do it. I've done the first coat of paint with the paintbrush. This is what it looks like from a distance. Not bad. As you can see, there's still tape on it. I haven't taken the tape off yet. That's because I've realised it's going to need 2 coats for 2 reasons. One, to get the sort of colour even, the white even, and to get rid of the paintbrush marks as well. Kind of like when you paint your house, you have to do 2 coats before it looks good. But it's still drying, so I thought now is a good time to film because you get to see like the streaks and the marks and the paint and stuff. Yeah, it's matte white, as you can see, like where it was black underneath, it's still sort of showing through in most places, so definitely needs a second coat. So what I'm going to do, it says 2 to 4 hours to dry on the tin, so I'm going to leave it for that many hours. Damn, some contaminants has already gone on it. Might have to give it a quick sand down. Once it's dry, maybe I'll sand it down by hand or just wipe it down clean. Yeah, I shouldn't do any gardening work or anything that's going to blow up more dust. Yeah, so I'll get back to it in a few hours and I'll do another coat after cleaning it, after it's dry. Hopefully there's enough time and hopefully it doesn't rain, but the sun's come out and it seems to be clear skies in most directions. There's a little bit of clouds in the distance, but we'll see how the weather goes, because I really needed to get this ready so I can drive it down to the shops to buy more cat food and stuff, and food, you know, stuff like that. So I needed to get it looking respectable as soon as possible, and the quickest way to do that in the weather that I've got. So this is what I've deemed to be the best option. Definitely needs to be sanded back to get rid of the rough spots from where I went right back to the plastic with the hard grit. And so that's what I thought. I wouldn't be able to get that smooth until it had a layer of paint on it. So the idea is to put 2 layers on, and then it will be drivable. I'll be able to drive down to the shops, and then when I get back, I'm going to sand back that again after it's dry for a few days, with a fine grit only though, and not sand it all the way back, but just sand it smooth, and then paint it again, maybe with spray can, or maybe not paint it, maybe just put another layer of coat over it and sand that again. Maybe it needs 3 layers of paint with the paintbrush. We'll see. It's the easiest way to put the paint on, and there's no overspray, and the tape catches any tiny overmarks. But yeah, I had to get the black line. I was going to leave the black line or I'll put it back, but I think I'll take it out. Okay, I've now painted on the second coat with the paintbrush, and it's still drying. So I just thought I'd give you a look at that work. So you can see brush strokes in it still, but they're fading away now that it's the second coat. I was thinking of doing a third coat with the brush, but I think I've changed my mind now, and I've decided that what I'm going to do is spray the last coat. I'm also thinking that I should be doing a light sand between that, but I don't know if I'm going to have time. I might just spray it so it looks the right colour, and that'll fix it up a little bit with the strokes, hopefully, make it look more uniform. And the spray can I've got is gloss as well, so not matte. And then after that, in a few days after it's dried properly, I can sand it and then respray it again to get it smoother and get rid of the little bumps and stuff. Alright, so yeah, progress. Okay, now I've added more tape to protect it, and then I sprayed over the area with gloss white enamel Dulux Weather Shield spray can, and it's come out really nice. Looks really good, except you can still see the brush strokes that I did, but it's less noticeable now. It's shining the right colour at least, and I'm hoping that with the sand and a respray it will get better. But there's all these rough bits. Can you see how rough it is? Anyway, the rough parts have to be sanded to make it perfect. I'm just going to move the car forward now, because right now it's not sitting in the sun completely. Going to move it forward to over there so it sits in the sun, and I'm just going to put the spare tyre back in the boot and hope that's all good too. Yeah, I'm just going to roll the car slowly. I'm going to wait for the paint to dry off, like wait another hour or two before I peel that protective stuff off. Yeah, and I tried patched up a little bit here and there, and you can't even tell. I did a bit of spray paint there. Anyway, okay, I've finished spraying that. I have taken the tape off and I've let it dry for a little bit, so on camera it looks pretty good, doesn't it? It is a different shade of white, but that's why I just wanted to test it first on just the lower lip. Anyway, this might conclude the first part of this, fixing this up. I don't know, I might have to touch it up a little bit more. So now that I've taken the tape off those little black spots that I'm going to need to go over, I could go over that with a touch-up pen though. So I'm going to try that as well. And of course it needs another sand and another paint, but it might not do that for a few more weeks or something, or a few more months, I don't know. It's good enough for now to drive around, I think. So that's the goal, the main goal has been achieved. Alright, thanks for watching this video from the TRD JDM Enthusiast channel. Please stay tuned for more, please subscribe and like. Alright, till next time.